Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, and welcome to our You'll Never Walk Alone WhatsApp group and YouTube channel. Okay, sorry for the late reply. I've a lot on today, but better late than never. This is my review of England versus the USA in the second group game in the World Cup in Qatar. Look, before the game started, I thought England would win that comfortably, 3-4-0, honestly. Especially after the performance against Iran, the amount of players that they've got for each position, the people they can bring on from the bench, and so forth. But they were fucking awful. America had large sections of the game. They hit the crossbar. They came the closest to scoring. England had some opportunities, but they were very few and far between. But none that really tested the American goalkeeper at all. Harry Kane had a couple of snapshots, but they didn't come to nothing. And England looked like a team that didn't win the first game. That's what they looked like. Very surprising. With the amount of talent they've got like 3 or 4 players that would walk into any team in the World Cup, probably bar Brazil and maybe France. So America, I just didn't rate them at all, but I have to give them their dues. They've taken 2 points, which is way more than I thought they would. And yeah, I thought they were very, very good. And they deserved a point at least out of the game. They came the closest. Pulisic hit the bar. Harry Kane had a few snapshots. And so had Mason Mount, had a good effort that was saved. But other than that, it was patchy from England. Look, it was England's game to, stake their claim in the next round and show everyone that they're serious about getting into the latter stage of this World Cup. But I think, as usual, Gareth Southgate has just too many options and just can't seem to pick the right teams at the right times when it matters. Phil Foden was needed badly. He went with Grealish, and I think he paid for that mistake. I think Foden would have stretched the Americans and would have scared the shit out of them, but he didn't go for them. And they paid a big, heavy price because, let's be real, anything other than 3 points against the USA is a fucking disaster. Let's call it what it is. World Cup my bollocks. This is England. You know what I mean? With the players they've got. Like Gareth Southgate is a sham. He's a fucking sham. And I told all the English boys, I have a lot of English friends, and a lot of English boys on our group, that Gareth Southgate is going to cost this team because he's just not smart enough. America were there for the taking, and three more points would have seen them as group winners. Now they're still going to probably get through, but I would be worried about the performance. Like, Wales are finished. Bale's legs are gone, so is Ramsey, and without them two on form, Wales have nothing. So I think they'll win their next game. I'm not trying to throw England under the bus in the early games, but that was a poor performance. And when Harry Maguire from Manchester United has had a fucking horrendous season, when he's probably the best defender on the pitch, that's how poor England were. Now, the second half was dire. Harry Kane had 2 efforts, 2 snapshots, and a header that went fucking miles wide. Pulisic hit the bar. There was a few half chances that both teams had, but realistically, England should be beating the shit out of America. Our league is a lot stronger than the MLS. The players that they've got, the players that they have, they could put out 2 fucking teams. And let's be real, most of that England team could walk into any other on their bench, could probably walk into most World Cup teams. Maybe not Brazil, obviously, and France, but definitely most of the rest of them. And for Gareth Southgate not to secure qualification and then make the Wales game a nothing game, give the rest of the lads a run out so you can protect your players. Now he's going to have to go out and try and win the fucking game with his best team, which could hurt them in the later rounds because he can't rest them. you want to stamp your authority early on the World Cup. This whole shit of going in, hobbling in, and getting out of the group. They'll win the group, but they had an easy group, and America was a 3-point game for them. So I'm assuming they're going to be very disappointed. If I was England, I'd be worried, because I think that even though they've got the players that will get them to a certain way, I would be interested to see how they do against a Spain or an Argentina or, God forbid they get Brazil. Brazil would hammer them in that form. They did show signs of this in the last summer. They weren't great running up to the World Cup, but after the Iran game, I thought all of that was over and it was just full steam ahead. But look, this World Cup has thrown up some results that people haven't been expecting. Saudi Arabia beating Argentina, Japan beating Germany, Iran beating Wales 2-0. I wasn't expecting that. Australia won again against Tunisia. I wasn't expecting that. So there has been some good results that have thrown up, some surprises. But England shouldn't be on the end of any surprises. And to be honest, they didn't play well enough. America deserved to fucking win that game. Well, maybe not deserved to win it, but definitely deserved their point from it. And they were the better side over the game. England were awful. Can they play better? Oh yeah, Jesus, they couldn't play worse. That was the worst performance I've seen of England at a tournament in I don't know how long. I don't want to be overcritical, because I am supporting England in this with the white. You can see I was going for England to go far in this tournament just because, it's the country that we watch our games with the EPL on. But yeah, I just didn't rate this England performance. I don't rate their manager at all. I would have never given him any more contracts after the Euros, but they have. Yeah, I'm surprised and shocked. 0-0, as I said, it was a fucking awful game. America had an opportunity or two, England had an opportunity or two, but realistically, a point apiece was the best that they could both get out of that game, because neither of them deserved to win it, really. But if I was to lean to one side, I thought America played better than England, which is an awful statement to have to make. Alright, that's it. I'll do a players review next. Thanks. Like and hit the subscribe button, please. We have the English player ratings from their drab 0-0 draw with America. They played 4-3-3. So we'll go with Pickford in goal. Look, he did okay on that save from Pulisic. I think he touched it onto the bar. So I'll give him a 6 for that. He played alright. Kieran Trippier 5. How the fuck is Trent not playing instead of him? His set pieces are awful. He didn't have a good game. John Stones 7. He did have a good game. Him and Harry Maguire did really well at the back. Harry Maguire's getting my man of the match. Yes, that Harry Maguire. He's getting an 8 and my man of the match. He was a fucking colossus at the back. Look, Manchester United bias aside, I'm always going to give players based on their performances on the day. I don't have an agenda against Harry Maguire or any Manchester United player. Luke Shaw again had a good game. He's getting a 7. I thought their backline was the only highlight. They stood up to America well. The rest of the team, Declan Rice 6. I didn't think he was all that good. I think they lost the battle in midfield. They didn't impose themselves on the game at all. Bellingham, he's getting a 6. Hot and cold. He blew cold today, or yes, last night. Mason Mount, I'm going to give him a 6. He had one shot saved that probably would have been a good goal, but other than that, he did fuck all. Saka 5, didn't rate him at all. He just didn't seem to want the ball or get into the game. Raheem Sterling 6. He's having a Chelsea type of game yesterday. Just, I don't know, like when he plays for England he usually does really well, but he was average. I'm going to give Harry Kane a 5. I don't think he's fit. I think that ankle is really bad, and it's only because he's captain is he getting picked and started. And in international football you can sort of get away with that, but at this World Cup it doesn't seem to be that way. Harry had 2 opportunities, both were blocked away, and one header that was fucking miles wide that he should have buried. I'm critical of England because of the team they've got. the players they have. This is a team that should get close to winning this fucking World Cup, and anything other than an 8 out of 10 is shocking from a country that have aspirations and a team to win it. I'm going to give Gareth Southgate a 3, because how can you play that badly with the amount of talent you've got everywhere? Like, it's not like he's got like 1 or 2 players that he needs to kick for the team to kick. He's got fucking 3 or 4 players for every position. He needs to start Trent in the next game, I think. I think he will be better because Wales won't attack that much, and I think they could do with Trent's supply. Harry Kane didn't get enough good supply line. Trippier's wasn't good enough. So yeah, Southgate's a fraud in my opinion. I just don't rate him at all. I never have. Even as a player, he was shite. He's a worse fucking manager. The England players are good enough to be talked about as finalists, but I don't think the manager is, and I think that's what's going to come. England are going to come unstuck against a really good side, possibly quarter-final time. I think they'll whip out the group. I think they'll win the group, because I think they'll beat Wales, because I don't think Wales have anything to play for. And I think if England get a goal early, I think the floodgates could open against Wales, because their heads will go down. But Wales aren't going to turn up and let them roll over them either. This is a local derby for most of the Welsh. And, you know, they've had a disappointing World Cup. But without Bale and Ramsey performing, Wales have nothing going forward. They really don't. So we'll see. But yes, fantastic round of next games to go. I think England will win the group. I think they're going to beat Wales. But I would worry if I was an English fan. I would really worry, because any more of them performances and these are going to go home. After the group games, the knockout games start, and another performance like that, and a good team will fucking give you them a hiding. And to be honest, they have the players to get really far in this World Cup. I just don't think the manager's up to it. Gareth Southgate out.